There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Called the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Monday, January 13th. We're ready for our final game of the wild card round tonight. We're finally going to see the Rams take on, of course, the Vikings tonight in Glendale, Arizona. That's just the way it's going to be, but we'll be ready for our game tonight after a wild weekend of wild card action. How'd you guys do yesterday on Sunday with the big 3 football games and the rest of our sports betting menu? I've been watching some great tennis action all night. Just watched Naomi Osaka win in advance. I saw my favorite, Danielle Collins, win pretty easy, and I saw a great match just a short time ago with Tommy Paul advancing over Chris O'Connell in a great match. Nick Kyrgios out, one and done. Was he injured? Is his career just over, really? Also, Novak Djokovic with a win this morning as well. Took advantage of an opponent, gave him a hard time there early on, started to cramp up, and you know how it is in the 5-setters, the cream rises to the top. So some great tennis action. I felt like I had some pretty good results. I might be ready to kick it in here into my season, at least with my public picks here today. You got to run them through the test drive. I think that's where I stand right now when it comes to the Australian Open and my tennis season here. I want to make sure we're ready to go, but had some nice winners last night. Alcaraz also covers his number last night. Just some other winners. I was looking at what else was good. Muchova crushed there. So I'm ready to go with tennis action. Hey, let's say hello to some folks in the chat, get the show underway, and then see what we're going to do tonight with our matchups. It might be one of the shortest shows we've had in weeks here, it feels like, with our short betting card, but we will look at the 3 games on the ice. We'll look at 6 in the NBA, and I've selected some college basketball, the TV games, and maybe a couple of big ones from some small conferences today to get my Jermaine filler in there. So let's settle in for a couple of hours, maybe 90 minutes. Let's see how we do today with the show. Hello to our chat all-stars coming in right now. Hello, stars. Let's see who's here to get us rocking and rolling with the action here on Monday. I was okay, certainly, with my betting action yesterday with 2-1 performance with the premium picks. If I won the premium, I lost on the air. If I won on the air here, I lost with the premium. We had the premium pick winner. You guys had the winner with the Buffalo Bills yesterday. I had the total, actually, as my premium pick winner. You guys had the Bills. Team Steam consensus said, Ramon, get out of here with that. The Broncos weren't going to be hanging in there at all. You guys were right on that one. I was right for about 5 minutes, and the Broncos got rocked by Josh Allen and the Bills. We did have a nice public play on Allen's yards to go over on a little bit of a alt line and a ladder there on Sunday as he dominated the action really with Buffalo. And we saw, of course, those lines come out now with Buffalo. Favorite here was a favorite, but we just saw Baltimore take some overnight steam, actually. And Baltimore actually has moved to the 1 point favorite at a few spots here right now. Some of the sharp books still hanging on with Buffalo favored by 1, but we've seen a little bit of a move to Baltimore here overnight. Virtually a pick 'em here, it feels like right now. And also, we have the winner with the Philadelphia Eagles to rock as our premium play on Sunday. And also, I had the Washington Tampa Bay game to go under. Got that one right. You guys said go over with Washington and Tampa Bay. So, guess we split our picks there. When me going up against the chat, I was a little worried about that yesterday, but fun time, no doubt, with the action there on Sunday night. Thank you to Jimmy the Bag and the guys over at PSR for hosting. And I was over there hanging out with them last night for the Washington and Tampa Bay game. Got a nice 280 plus 285 winner last night. With a prop with Evans and McLaurin. Touchdown exacta yesterday. I also had some winners there yesterday with Brian Robinson to go under with his rushing total. I also had McLaurin, a little bit of a prop with him, his yardage to go over yesterday, 69.5 yards. So we were able to come through with a few football winners. Just a fun day overall there with the guys. NHL yesterday, I did sweep the board with my premium picks yesterday, including Ducks and Hurricanes game to go under, Stars and Senators game to go under, Wild and Golden Knights game to go under. Notice a pattern here. There's been some unders here for sure in the last couple of days. If you got unders, I'm probably going to be having some winners in the NHL. We'll look at the 3 games tonight, as I said. Also had some winners here on the show. Remain hot here on the show with our picks in NBA and NHL. How about Detroit Red Wings winner yesterday? I want to shout out Joe T. He had the winner and the over in that game. Pretty easy over for sure. We gave out the Red Wings. Yeah, they were a favorite. They were one of the most popular plays of handicappers yesterday, despite being a pretty stiff favorite. We had the Red Wings. Jover had the over with the Kraken and the Red Wings. Also here on the show, I said take the Ducks plus 2.5. They didn't need it. How about the Ducks yesterday? Continuing to look pretty good, getting past the Hurricanes there. We also had the winner on the show, Ottawa Senators. It's a slight dog in that game over the Stars there. And last night, Vegas Golden Knights, we had them. So 4-1 with our show picks. That's 7-1 there yesterday with my public picks here in the NHL. So keep that roll going right now. Ramon gotcha here, it feels like. NBA, maybe not as successful there yesterday. Did finish subpar with my premium plays there, but you guys had a nice winner here yesterday on the show with the New York Knicks. Great job. Team Steam consensus there yesterday. The Knicks over the Bucks. You guys called that one in the chat. I did have a winner here with the Indiana Pacers, but what a strange game, huh? The low score there with the Pacers and Cleveland, a game that should have approached 240 points. There was like 65 points early in the midway, almost through the second quarter, in a real bizarre game, and the Pacers able to beat the Cavaliers, the seemingly unbeatable Cavaliers there yesterday. And we also had a winner here, Sixers and Magic game to go over. We also had the Magic as our premium pick winner there yesterday. Premium pick winner also Thunder and Wizards game to go over here yesterday. And pretty fun day overall when the NBA couldn't really find the green, however. And college basketball just finished under 500 as well by a game. We did have a few winners here. How about Purdue rocking Nebraska on the show? Talked about the Big Ten and these home teams is doing it again this year, it feels like, right now. Although Michigan State did rock Northwestern on the road. We had a premium pick winner, St. Peter's and Canisius game to go under. Also Sacred Heart and Mount St. Mary's game to go under was a premium pick winner. We had Washington and Michigan game to go over on the show yesterday. Fairfield and Marist game to go under was my premium pick winner. We also had Robert Morris here on the show yesterday as a winner here on the Morning Steam Show. So let's say hello to the folks in the chat with Cash Kane here, ready to get us going. T. Moss. I'm having a pretty good morning here today. Feeling pretty good about our card, maybe our short show, but really happy you guys are joining me. Got already 4 dozen in here, so we'll get rolling here pretty quick. Joe W., get everyone in here today. And T. Bird there. Looks like he had a pretty good day. A bounce back day, I think, was it, T. Bird? Good job. Good focus there. Fernando, ready to go. We got a couple of events in domestic leagues of Monday night fixtures here. Also, FA Cup today, the standalone game in the FA Cup. What is this? Dagon Red going up against Millwall in a Monday night FA Cup feature. Hey, everyone, there's my right-hand man. This is my Ed McMahon. It's Thomas Lewis. He's keeping track of us in the chat with the Team Steam consensus. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Sports Money here on YouTube, fastest growing channel on YouTube for sports betting information. There's Jermaine. He's ready to go here today. Thank you, Jermaine. We got the let that one slide by there, didn't I? Who else can join us in the chat? Let me roll through. Good conversation in there. Johnny Walker's doing damage at the brick and mortar here, it feels like today. Stop Geo ready to go. Abel's here this morning. Matt D. Nice to have Matt, even though Denver ended with a thump for sure. I think Denver fans would call it a successful season overall with the growth here. And he does say, look, it's going to be Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo forever. That's a long time. 10 years is a long time. Cash King, he just went 22-3 yesterday. No big deal. Philly Eagle Flyer, good morning, ready to go. And who else do we have? C-Man is here, my man. Good to see you, my friend. And here's Doubles. Thank you for coming in today, my friend. Chosen One says he had the Commanders yesterday. Great job by the Commanders yesterday for sure. How about those games? Actually, we mentioned our results, but in case you missed it, late last night, it was Tampa Bay losing to Washington 23-20. The Commanders come from behind. They won on the final play with a doinker inside the post, off the post, and in by Zane Gonzalez, a 27-year-old 27-yarder, hit the right upright, bounced in. He had 3 field goals. Jaden Daniels, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 40 yards rushing. He is the man. I had that McLaurin prop over, but he had that touchdown pass to McLaurin that got me that exacta in the fourth quarter. Baker Mayfield, 185 yards and a touchdown. We see now Washington will play the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are favored by 8.5, and the total 55.5. There, no defense in the playoffs, and those so one of those teams ain't going to win the Super Bowl if they have defense like that, but we'll be expecting a high-scoring game when Detroit takes on Washington. Also yesterday, saw the Bills thumping the Broncos. Josh Allen, I mentioned it, 272 yards, 2 TDs. James Cook, man, continues to roll. Maybe he is a X factor a little bit for the Bills. They really were clutch on third down. Bo Nix, just 144 yards passing. The Bills outgained the Broncos by 200 yards and outsnapped them by 30 plays. So a big advantage there. Buffalo faces Baltimore next weekend. Buffalo favored by 1 or so, as I said, but maybe a little bit of shift here. I'm showing DraftKings maybe moving to the Ravens as a favorite. The total 51.5 there in that one. And also yesterday in that middle game, we had the Eagles dominating against the Packers 22-10. It did feel like that missed field goal there early for the Packers kind of sealed their fate, even though it would have been just 3 points. It kept them off the board when it was 10-0. Philadelphia defense, 3 interceptions, fumble recovery, 2 sacks, really a dominant win. Barkley, 120 yards. Goddard had a big game. I said sometimes he disappears from the team, not by choice, but by design. but Goddard looked pretty good. Jake Evans, 3 field goals. Jordan Love, 212 yards in the loss. And the Packers were devastated by injuries by the end of that game there yesterday. So the Eagles will move on to face the winner of tonight's game. And we'll talk about it tonight in just a few moments. But the Rams, with the game moved to Phoenix, maybe they lost their home field advantage. Still got a great matchup with Stafford and Darnold. Can the Rams defense, hold up against Jefferson and Addison? And can the Vikings contain Kupp and Nakua? So we'll see. Winner gets Philadelphia next week. All right, let me say hello to a few more folks, get the show started. Who else is in the chat with me here today? Nicholas Handy, hello. Ziggy is here, ready to roll with some plays. Robert McCormick's ready to go, getting his morning started. And let's see here, maybe a little action from Philly Eagle Flyer. I didn't look too deep other than the games that I might be targeting here today personally, but definitely got some Turkey Super League in there, it looks like. Today. All right, and going to have some picks certainly on the board. Let me run down some steam here real quick. Here's Alvin in the chat, but I see some moves coming in, so maybe we can report these. Joe T's got a couple of plays in the chat. I think he's got the total in the one of the games we're going to both games I'm going to talk about here that Joe T has his picks, and we'll complement those by going the other direction. If Joe picked his totals, I'll come in with the side on his 2 plays today. So check them out in the community tab with a couple of totals today in college basketball. Good morning to Sub here today as well. Here's Philly Eagle Flyer, already talking about that Serie A game today with Fiorentina and Monza. Also in Spain, Villarreal and Sociedad are going to be going at it. And thank you to Philly Eagle Flyer. And hello to Nunya. Man, talk about hot. Nunya here. All right. We'll get ready here to go in just a moment. Let me do my commercial here and let you know that you can get my best plays today by sticking around here and listening for the next 90 minutes. But actually, my best plays are going to be over at winnable.com. Today, you'll get my best play in tonight's NFL game, NBA, NHL, college basketball, and it's just $4 a day, $8 a week, $20 a month. If you buy that one-day pass, we got a short card today, so if you get that one-day pass today, I'll tack on an extra day there since we got a short card here today, and I do appreciate your support. This is how you support me on the Sports Money Network, coming on here doing a great show, hopefully for you guys every day, just going over the day's card, previewing all the games, letting you know where all the moves are coming in, give you my picks as well, and those from the chat all-stars. And by clicking the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you can go to my sales page over there at Winnable and get signed up. I do have a free subscription over there, and I think that's where we're going to come in with that Aussie Open tennis tonight. Took off the night last night from the overnight action, so going to definitely have to come in with a free card here. We'll probably look at Australian Open action tonight after I was able to have a pretty good night over there with some of the matches. I think I'm ready to go. So join me over at winnable.com, subscribe to that free package, or get the paid subscription there to support me here on the channel. And if you subscribe today, I'll come back and do a show tomorrow. How's that? All right. I think that'll get that out of the way, and you can let me get the address up there. You can see it there, Winnable with 2 eyes / Ramon. You can see it has my little picture on it, and you can pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, other forms of pay as well. If you go over to winnable.com / Ramon, it'll look just like this. You can see there, my picture comes up right there like that. And then you go scrolling on down to the packages here. Why not get that monthly package for $19.95 like that? That'll get you 1 month of plays, but I give out a lot of plays, so just a lot of information. When you pay via the Apple Pay or something right there, it comes right up just like that. Looks pretty cool, just like you're getting some purchases or something, double click on it and you get the plays there over at Winnable. Okay, how's that? Thanks a lot. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all of those packages. Like I said, if you get that $4 package, my 1-day package, I'll tack on a second day because even I'll be pretty light today with the plays. Although I do like this college basketball card with the MEAC and SWAC action for sure. We got some Big Ten action to look at as well, in an ACC game I see here, and some Southern League. So we'll go over it all. SoCon today. All right, let's say hello to a few more folks and get started with our show. And who's it going to be? Here, one more. T. Moss was lamenting his props there in the chat. Good morning to Ray as well. Super True is here, and I think that means we're ready to go here with the show. All right. Let's get it started in the NFL with Monday Night Football, the last official Monday night game of the season here. We know we have the regular season. We got one more to go through here. It was originally scheduled for Monday. The date wasn't changed, just the site here when we talk about the Vikings and the Rams in this one from Glendale, Arizona tonight due to the fire disasters in Southern California. They're still going. I don't mean to blow it off when we talk about it. And, I'm not saying it's ever ad nauseum. We know the tragedy that's going on there, and it's still ongoing. I say the threat is diminished, but guess what? I mean, there's more winds coming today in Southern California. If you're not familiar with it, the Santa Ana winds is what they are called, and really makes life really treacherous this time of year. And after a few years of growth, that's what happens here. So they'll play this one tonight in Arizona with the Vikings favored here by 2.5 points, and the total here about 48 here feels like right now. Minnesota comes in 14-3, having won 9 of their last 10 games overall. The Vikings are 5-2 against the spread as a road favorite this year. They've had a great year. This defense plus 11 in turnovers for the Vikings this year, unheralded, right? Do you think of their pretty good offense with that great passing game, those receivers especially, but it's the Vikings defense that really has been kind of an underrated unit a little bit. I know they've talked about it with Coach Brian and his development of that defense up there, and really has made them the elite contender that they are, along with the Lions certainly in the division. So Vikings will be a favorite. They're a favorite by 2, and then the site changed. It went up another 0.5 point, up to 2.5. The Vikings may have an actual edge when it comes to the amount of fans in the stands now. They did give the Rams fans and Cardinals season ticket holders first crack at the tickets. They did sell a lot of tickets, many of them to brokers, and they might find their way into the hands of Vikings fans here who are transplanted. There's snowbirds there, and they'll have big support. We know the Vikings are going to have support pretty much wherever they go. In Los Angeles, they would have had a significant amount of fans as well there to make plenty of noise, but it could be kind of a slightly Vikings crowd here now, unfortunately. The Rams are 9-1 in their last 10 games in State Farm Arena, State Farm Stadium. They're in Arizona, but that was against the Arizona Cardinals. Still, they felt comfortable enough to want to stay in the visitors' locker room. The Vikings will work out of the home team locker room, apparently, but just because of the comfortability there, I think, of the Rams in that locker room. I don't think they're doing it necessarily out of superstition there, maybe, but definitely have enjoyed their time. Look, the Cardinals aren't a easy team to beat there at State Farm Stadium, despite their subpar years year after year. They do play pretty okay at home for sure, but the Rams have had their number and played well in Arizona. So just a matter of focus. It's an easy storyline to paint if you want to say that the Rams, it's not something you would ignore, certainly. I mean, there were players who were somewhat affected by the situation, whether or not they were evacuated or had to, uh, at least consider what was going on. And still, a little bit of a distraction. Have to get on a plane here and play a road game when you're expecting to play at home. Vikings were going to play on the road no matter what, right? So maybe that's where the half point comes in. We'll see what you guys have to say here in the chat for the Rams. They won 9 of their last 12. They finished 10-7 after a 1-4 start. Yeah, they were, kind of banged up there. Nakua was slow to start the season with injuries there. And we did see, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend, man, I should have got this one straight, right? I want to make sure I don't say this wrong. Let me call it up. I might have to I want to call it up here possibly and make sure that I have it right here with Demarcus Robinson. I don't want to categorize it incorrectly here, his arrest here over the weekend. So he was charged with one misdemeanor DUI here over on no, it was back on November the 25th and will be arraigned in late February, but this is something that did come to light here apparently over the weekend. So the Rams didn't suspend him after he was arrested in November. So just a little bit of noise surrounding Robinson here of late. So if he is active, he's a definite impact contributor, it certainly feels like. But man, he was kind of disappearing off the map a little bit after he had those excellent games about a month and a half ago. I mean, obviously the timing of it all, and maybe now looking at it, barely getting any targets through those games, he almost feels like a non-factor at this point. But just to make it clear, the news was talked about a little bit over the weekend. So okay, let's see what you guys maybe have in the chat with this one with the Rams and Minnesota. These teams did meet back in week 7 in SoFi Stadium, and the Rams beat Minnesota 30-12 as a 3-point underdog. The Rams outgained the Vikings in that game, 386-276. The Rams have won 3 straight over the Vikings. All 3 of those games did go over. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. The Rams are 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games as an underdog. Let's go to the chat. Here we go. See what you guys have. Thomas is going to start us off here, it looks like, and he's got the Rams. Ziggy's on the Rams. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Fernando's on the Vikings. Robert does like the under in this one. I just have a problem with some of these totals. I think a lot of it may have to deal with, maybe there's just so much public action. I'm referring maybe to that total next week. We just talked about that 55.5. Still, the Commanders and Bucks were seemingly going far short of the game. I mean, I went with the premium under in that one because I don't know. I mean, this is the playoffs, man. They're not going to score on every possession. You see teams pinning. How many times we saw last night in that late game, the ball got pinned back to the 1-yard line on a couple of possessions. All right, Philly Eagle Flyer says, I'm going with the Vikings money line and the halftime full game ties. He likes the under. And T. Moss here. Good morning, T. Moss. I hope you're doing okay there on your visit to the doctor. And Rams money line here for Matt D. And he says, tongue in cheek, it's the Vikings in a game that matters, meaning they don't fare well. I don't want to use the C word there, but Abel likes the over here in this one. And Super True talking about North. Yeah, boy, Super True didn't scold me in the chat when I tried to go with the Wildcats in that one against Sparty. What was I thinking? All right, player prop. T. Moss says he'll just stick to the props here. I'm going to be on some props for sure. I think I'll have time to join the guys tonight with this late card over there across the street. Maybe we'll see what they're up to. But For me, I mean, I'd probably be rolling with those Minnesota receivers here. I mean, I did so well playing the chalky players a little bit. Uh, staying with a small prop card, but just going with the best players in the games, and had a pretty big weekend with those plays. But I got to like Jefferson and Addison. I got to like Addison for a touchdown for sure tonight. I would say if I was giving out a prop, I might save it here. I don't really give out props on this show, but I got to put Addison somewhere in there for an ATD, it feels like tonight. I really think that the Vikings can corral the Rams running game here for sure with Kyron Williams. I got the Vikings probably as a top 10 rushing defense or so, but we'll see. He's going to be lined up here for a pretty big workload tonight, talking about Kyron Williams here. Kind of the focus of the offense in the last 5 or so games. Well, last 6 games, I think, of the season. I say it 5, but he sat out the last game. But the weeks before that, he had some big games against Arizona, against the Jets. So helped him during that surge of victories for sure there with the big game against New Orleans as well. Williams had 6 rushing touchdowns in those last 6 appearances, averaging 91.5 yards rushing and 20.5 carries. So the Rams have found a little bit of a workhorse back in an offense that usually is regarded as pretty pass heavy. So good job by Williams, but they'll have to face this Minnesota defense. Also, Blake Corum, a little bit banged up here, done for the season right now with that arm injury. So they really don't have an established backup here right now. You do have Ronnie Rivers that probably is going to get in there and be the backup. He did end up with all the work against Seattle when Williams took off that game, but still it'll be, heavy workload there. So that may help the props actually of Williams. It's just that the Vikings are pretty good defensively, feels like, against the run, and they can kind of focus on him a little bit. Nacua certainly also has to be considered because of the woes a little bit of the one area it feels like that the Vikings are vulnerable is in WR1. So maybe Nacua there. I'm really going to look all the way down, hopefully, to Tutu Atwell. Get some props here with Atwell. We'll see how deep the passing game rolls here. But with Robinson basically disappearing, I want to think that Atwell could be the guy that I focus in on a little bit with some of the props here tonight. Also, maybe TJ Hawkinson has to be considered for the Vikings. Let's look at some more plays from you guys, and then we'll wrap it up here in the NFL. All right. Fernando says this one could get over because it's 47.5 here. Johnny Walker says you could tease the Rams and under there, and that's what Thomas did. How about that? Philly Eagle Flyer says one way or the other, it might be 23-20 there. And Johnny says, why not throw in Notre Dame in a little teaser that includes a playoff game next Monday night? Can't wait for that one. Man, you look at that line, it continues to move in favor of Notre Dame. I say in favor, meaning the point spread, right? It was, as high as maybe 9.5. Yeah, we were talking maybe some 10 openers, but the sharp books have already been seeing down to 8 flat a little bit. Most of it looks like 8.5 right now, but circa was 8 last night, 8 flat when I was hanging out with the guys last night. All right, Super True Story likes this Sparty team. Man, I'm so old. I remember when Sparty was a Final Four team, guys like Mateen Cleaves, and but I was old enough actually with the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird game. I watched that game live. All right, not live in person, but I mean live on TV. That was the era that brought in college basketball into the TV era. All right. At least modern. I mean, you go back to the UCLA Houston famous game in the Astrodome, certainly. But all right, let's see here. Terrell's here. What's he saying? Some people have forgotten how good that Vikings D is. Rams team total under. Can Darnold kind of face up against this young Rams defense? It's done kind of a nice job here a little bit. Does feel like, in a way, right, that the Vikings defense, though, is maybe a notch above the Rams if you think of the, not only the stats a little bit, the reputation maybe as well. Jermaine remembers Mateen. He was a real heady player, wasn't he? And that's right. That's Vikings run their T-Moss saying, but the Rams, yeah, it's all Kyron though now. I mean, in the backfield anyway. And Thomas Lewis says he'll take the Rams because of Darnold, right? It will make the mistakes. I don't know. I feel like it might be actually a decent matchup for Darnold here. So, all right, I guess it's time for me. I don't know if we had any, consensus there from the chat, right? Looks like we were kind of all over the place a little bit. Just time for me to make the call here, it feels like, in this one. Let's see. That is an interesting point, right, Terrell? With that new Suns owner. Okay, I guess I've got to be. I was hoping we might get a pick here, but you know what? It's still kind of a close matchup here, it feels like. Abel says both quarterbacks over 1.5 passing touchdowns here. Donut Silks, hello, nice to have you here. All right. Well, just kind of, I feel like to me, it's an equal balance whether I'm going to go side or total, but I'll go ahead and take the Minnesota Vikings here to win this one tonight in the game between the Vikes and the Rams. I'll lay 2.5 here. Feels like a little bit of a tax, actually. I mean, this should be a great close game. Certainly, you got to give the Rams a little bit of respect for what they did. And, well, they earned the home game. They were pretty good, right? But I'm going to take the Vikings here to get this one. Maybe the money line is probably the best way to go if I'm going to really be serious here about this play, but I'll go ahead and lay 2.5 here on the show. You guys can weigh it the way you do. And hey, just saw plenty of people on the Rams there. Can't blame them. Look, I love, I think Nakua, we can't wait to see this guy. Hopefully he stays healthy, man. He feels like goes so hard out there. And, Cup, it feels like maybe I don't know. I don't say he's going downhill or anything like that, but I think his inconsistency was noticeable a little bit this season. Maybe he wasn't always fully healthy as well throughout the year, but also I'm worried about, like I said, Robinson, who a player when he was hot there, and I was loading up on him a little bit, middle of the season, or second half of the season, early portion of the second half of the season when he had some nice performances there. But, like I said, nowhere to be found really in the last several games other than the fact that they used him a little bit extra in the game against Seattle because of the, players resting. So, all right. And maybe the Vikings did slack off the last game to get this particular matchup. And I think that's it. All right. I'm on the Vikings here to win it. I'll take the premium as the total here tonight. Maybe you caught wind of what I was doing. If not, join me over at winnable.com. Get my opinion on the total here. In this one, T. Moss says it's all about the matchups. I think the best matchups here, like I said, for me, if I had to run them down, you can use these players as my preferred players in the props would be Darnold, Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson. I may even look at Johnny Munt and Oliver there for a little bit of extra tight end action if your book goes that deep. For the Rams, really Nakua, Atwell, and maybe you could find Whittington in there a little bit. And if anything, I might look to some defensive props with the Rams just on the pricing. I certainly do like Minnesota here in the game. All right. I guess that's going to do it for the NFL game tonight. Just the one game. That's all I needed was one little sheet right there for the games tonight. Thanks, everybody. Great job. Let's roll it here and get going with the rest of the action here today. We'll go to the NBA first. with our 6-game card tonight. And we'll start it off here with, we got the Timberwolves in action here against the Washington Wizards. To get us started, the Wolves are going to be on the road here, of course, a double-digit favorite against the lowly Timberwolves in this one. But actually, it's been kind of a series where actually the Timberwolves have some success. Now, these two teams don't meet that often, but for whatever reason, and Washington hasn't been very good over the last several seasons. Maybe this is probably as bad as they've been. We know that. But still, this has been an awkward stop for Minnesota here for sure. Washington's covered the spread in 8 of the last 9 meetings against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you're getting a bushel full here for sure with a couple of touchdowns tonight between these two. The total here is at 225, 224 and a half or so here right now. I show a few books kind of ticking up to 14 or so here in this one. Also, 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. So when you have two kind of distinctive trends, right, maybe there is something to that, even if it is a series that is infrequent. Certainly Minnesota, when they go on this road trip, they kind of play in the same cities here a little bit and the same tour. So maybe it doesn't work out that well for Minnesota, but Washington's on a long losing streak here once again. Minnesota did play 2 road games. Then they went home to play Memphis. It's the old, I used to call it Tony T special, right? He'd always point it out, say, look, you play 2 road games, you go home, and then you got to go back on the road. That's like a 4-game road. That's like staying on the road a little bit. So for the Wizards here, definitely on that losing streak. Like I said, they're not really covering either, but they did cover against Philly on the road, getting 10.5 points, but they just got blowed out at home by Minnesota, 136-95. So see if you like this one tonight with Minnesota and Washington. Like I said, big time over series, big time Wizards series here, interestingly enough. And we're going to get into it here with you guys. Yeah, Terrell, remember that? What was he thinking there? Apparently, though, he does have the respect. Remember Jokic? Remember we talked about, well, it wasn't on this show. Well, it was on this show, but not on this channel. But, went over there and found Sheba there the next day and kind of joked around with him a little bit. So it was all in good fun, I guess. Washington for Curtis here. Ziggy's on Washington as well. We're going to go Washington consensus here. Fernando will be playing the props. Hello to Nuke. Great job last night with us there over there on PSR. We had a fun time with Nuki and the guys. And Ziggy says Timberwolves win. Timberwolves win 3 straight games. Oh, yeah, Timberwolves win 3 straight games and then lose. Right, they lost last time out, of course, to Memphis, 125-127 at home as a 2-point favorite. And Robert likes the over here in this one. Ray's on the Wizards. That's 3-0 Wizards so far, I think. Here's Fernando on the under, though, here. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but it's only took down just a little bit from 225. I'm seeing 223.5 at a few books here right now. So I'll just leave it at that because I'm just going to take the Washington Wizards. Why not? They've covered 8 of the last 9 against Minnesota. Now, that is a 5-year, pretty much everything out of the bubble, it feels like, really. But again, I just say, oh, and look, Thomas says it's actually the Wizards are a consensus play. All right, well, I'll just leave it as such. I'll use the total as a premium play here since we have a short card today. I'm flexible. If I would have seen that, I probably should have saw it coming there, but nobody wants the Timberwolves here, it feels like, in this one tonight. Now, Washington has had a couple of injuries here. You got Brogdon questionable, and Vukcevic is questionable as well, but I think I'm going to take the Wizards here, try them here. It doesn't feel real proud or anything, so I'll just use that free play here on the show. All right. And we can get a little bit better action here, maybe with the Warriors, or as I like to call them, the Warriors. Sounds like an Australian team. The Warriors. You guys catch the typo in the chat in my graphic there, or is it just me? All right, there we go. The Warriors are the Warriors against the Raptors here in this one. You got the Warriors, the favorites here by 4.5. They're up to 5.5. There may be 6 here already. A little bit of a runaway favorite already here with the Warriors. Total here 228.5 in this one. The Warriors, man, whenever they get out on the road, it just seems like they mean business for whatever reason every year about this time over the last couple of years. And maybe the team is beginning to age a little bit, and maybe the sage of the team a little bit here, but got to look and see how the team will be facing any kind of injury concerns here. They definitely have Pajemski currently out. Kuminga, like we said, he is out. Wiggins is probable. Dre is probable. So that works here. Full, clean bill of health for the Raptors here in this one. And so just on Warriors on the road, it just has been a very, very solid proposition, it feels like, here of late. Now, Toronto has lost 16 of their last 17 games coming in. They're the ones, another one on a long losing streak here right now. They just lost 3 straight on the road. They did get the money at Cleveland, but they're not covering anything, it feels like, right now. But Golden State, when they get on the road here right now on these East Coast swings, they just are money. And they've covered 11 straight on the road against Eastern Conference opposition. Now, I don't usually put a lot of stock into certain trends like that, but this one you've got to respect. You're going out on the road. You're obviously on the East Coast swing a little bit, and that's where they seem to play well. And not only that, the Warriors have gone under in 11 straight road games. So there has to be a little something to the focus and the defense of the Warriors, especially facing a very inferior opponent tonight in the Toronto Raptors here. Maybe that's where we're seeing this growing favorite a little bit here. I'm seeing some 6s here now as well. I'm going to tack on another half a point, it feels like, just to make it as accurate as possible here right now. 6 at Bet Online, 6 down here at the South Point with me here in Vegas. So 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but like I said, it's just hard to buck this Golden State trend of the under. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. So let's go to the chat here and see what you guys have with the Warriors and the Wizards. The Raptors, I'm sorry. Maybe I slept in a little bit here today with the short card. And couple, in the middle of the night matches, they were okay, but I definitely want to get up and see Osaka play. And Collins as well. I got to watch Collins play. She actually smiled on the court there. Amazing. Okay, here we go with the guys in the Warriors. I'm looking here for Warriors and Raptors picks, if anything. Oh, here we go. Thomas starts us off, of course. He's got the Warriors. And Ziggy likes the over here. So does Robert in this one. And Abel says he's got an all Minnesota parlay today. How about that? Redbeard ready to chime in with his college action here, stopping by. Thank you, Redbeard. Appreciate you. He's got UCLA and the over here tonight. Fernando likes the over here as well. 3 overs so far in this game. That might be it here. Let's see. No, Ray likes the under. Donut Silk says that he likes UCLA too. So, all right, looks like that might be it. I'm taking the Golden State Warriors, of course. I'll have to lay 6 points here now on the show, but just feels like Warriors on the road here against a team they certainly can probably take advantage of here right now. Toronto's not covering much here. They are a winning proposition for sure at home this season. 12-7 overall at home against the spread and 20-14 against the spread as an underdog. The Warriors are just 10-12 against the spread as a favorite, and they're just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. But it does feel like to me, given a team like Washington right now and the way things Toronto, why do I keep saying Washington? The way it's going right now for them. I will say Toronto, like I said, a little bit of a run at home here, but I'm going to have to take the Warriors in this one. All right, looks like you guys are done in the chat with that one. So the games get a little better here with the Pistons taking on the Knicks on the road here. The Knicks are favored at home by 7.5, and the total is down to 223 on some widely reported steam here in this one, as the total's dropped a couple of points here right now. Probably mostly because of the Knicks. It feels like the Knicks might be the team that's going a little bit more under here of late. For the Pistons here, let me get this one going here real quick. Pardon me. All right. For the Knickerbockers here, they've failed to cover the spread in 6 of their last 7 games here on a back-to-back. They played the Bucks there yesterday and got that impressive victory there in that one. Some good scoring there with that. Steam went on the over yesterday, but today it's on the under in this matchup. The Knicks have won 16 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams. Detroit has gone over right now in 5 of the last 6 meetings with the Knicks here in the Garden. But New York here, let's see, like I said, 16 last 17, 8-1 at home against the Pistons here of late. Pistons, a little bit of a trend of the over here for sure. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you guys have of the Pistons take on the Knicks here tonight. Pistons are coming off of a victory last game. They knocked off the Raptors 123-114 as a 5-point favorite at home. The Knicks beat Milwaukee 140-106 last time out here at home. They've been at home here for quite a while. This is the 5th straight home game for the Knicks. See what you guys have in the chat here in this one. And you know AOD, I don't know if that's a pick, but you know what he's saying every time. He's got the Detroit Pistons logo after all. And here's Robert on the Pistons in this one. And Thomas going to put the Knicks in a moneyline parlay tonight. AOD is here today. Ray Otachi likes the Knicks in the first half. Oldie is here. Thank you, Oldie. Celebrating the Bucks victory there, I think. Or the victory. What am I saying? Victory. I don't know what that means. It's a Bucks life, but the Bucks lost. All right, I guess that's it from you guys in this one. Maybe it wasn't as attractive a matchup. Fernando leans to the over. Ziggy's on the Pistons, though. So we got a couple of Pistons. We got a little bit of Knicks support in there. I'll take the Detroit Pistons plus the points here in this one. You know what? I missed all this steam. My apologies there. Let me report on a few moves here real quick and interrupt. We're halfway through the NBA coverage. But, man, just, not a lot of college games today, but we do have all those extra board games. So let me touch on some of those real quick because one Steam play just came in, and I'll cover the other ones that I kind of missed here. So we'll be a little late on the moves, but just to let you know what's going on with some of these matchups here today, it was top of the extra board with Prairie View A&M and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Steam to the under here right now. It was 168.5. I could see this one going all the way down to 166 here. It's all the way down here already to 166.5 with Prairie View A&M and Arkansas Pine Bluff. So pretty noticeable move here, 2 points or more here to the total in this one. I think when you see that here, I think it has to be mostly what we've seen from in the past, the Prairie View A&M team here. Let's see if I can cover this steam move a little bit. This one really has an interesting trend on it, and maybe this is what the Sharps are seeing. So, look, Arkansas Pine Bluff is a kind of a high-scoring team this season. I'm not previewing this game, but just want to cover this team because I don't have it in the preview. But let me take a look here. Pine Bluff this season is 10-3 to the over overall. They've been an underdog in every game as they are here. So Prairie View is expected to be, the better team here, and they've proven that with their slightly better cover record, I think. But 43 of the last 45 games that Pine Bluff has played in conference have been under 164 points here. So, yes, they're playing Pine Bluff, definitely a high-scoring team, but that's pretty hard to ignore. 43 of the last 45 conference games for Prairie View have been under this total for sure, under 164 points, actually. So, wow, that's a pretty serious move there, it feels like, with Prairie View and Pine Bluff. Wow. But again, like I said, Pine Bluff is a pretty high-scoring team that you might ignore that statistic. I don't know, 43 out of 45 is pretty hard to ignore, especially when Prairie View is, I think maybe the slightly better team. This is an absolutely dreadful matchup for sure. Both teams are just 3 wins so far, but I just had to note that when I saw that steam on that one. Okay. Also, steam came in here this morning on the Campbell Camels in their matchup with Elon. Elon was an 8-point favorite, but we're down to 7 here, I think, right now with Elon and Campbell here tonight. That one goes off at 8 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Maybe it's 7.5 for the most part there. I don't know if I see many 7s. Yeah, there's some juiced 7s there a little bit, but Campbell took the steam. Also, Houston Christian took some steam in their matchup with McNeese State. McNeese State was a 15.5-point favorite, but look how this one's moved all the way down here to 14.5 here at this point. Houston Christian taking the steam. They've been good against the spread. McNeese has been overrated by the general betting public this season. We know that McNeese, in this class of teams, certainly have been strong, right? They're on a big winning streak right now and everything, but Houston Christians won a couple in a row as well. Here's some steam coming in right now in the game between Northwestern State and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We're seeing a move to the over here in this one at 141.5. It's going up to 144. Boom, just like that. Northwestern State and Corpus Christi, a big move here on the over in this one. A little bit of a surprise maybe because Corpus Christi does kind of have some long-term conference trends, I think, here that have gone under. But, man, this is a hot move here right now to the over with Northwestern State and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. It's a pretty big game actually in that conference tonight between these two teams. So just want to note that one. Texas A&M Corpus Christi has gone under this number in 6 straight conference games or 6 straight home games right now, but the big move to the over here with Northwestern State and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. All right, let me see here. I think I got a few more coming in here right now. These are still a little bit stale here, but just want to report these. We don't have a big card today, so if I got some steam, I'm going to pass it along here with Coppin State and Howard. Here's some steam to the over in this one with Coppin State and Howard. It was 145. Now it's all the way up here to 148. 8 here at Bet Online. So a 3-point move here on this one with the steam coming in between Coppin State and Howard here. Coppin State is a team that definitely has been an under team for the most part in some of these matchups. 10 of their last 11 games for Coppin against conference teams have been under 147, but Howard is a kind of a trending team to the over there. So you just have to take that one for what it's worth here with this steam move between Coppin State and Howard. But a pretty big move here to the over in this one. Howard has been the over team of the two this season. Howard's gone over in 8 of their last 10 and 5 of their 6 games as a favorite. They're going to be favored here mostly in conference. Early on, none of these teams were favored hardly in any games. All right, Alabama, when they were some of these teams, go barnstorming before the season to make some money for their coffers. All right, Alabama State just took some steam here just moments ago in their matchup with Alcorn. Alabama State was a 2-point favorite. They're up to 3 or so here right now. They're up to 4 right now at Circa. Pretty big move here on Alabama State. Hot moves here on the extra board right now. It feels like we're covering college basketball all of a sudden. But again, I'm not going to preview all these games today, but we do have plenty of matchups here with these MEAC and SWAC games mostly. I did pick a couple of them that have some impact at the top of the standings in those respective conferences. That seemed like the best way to approach it. All right, I think maybe that might be it. Let's go back to the NBA. Hope that was enjoyable, and hopefully that'll get us some information anyway, help you guys in those conferences here. Sorry, I ruined it there a little bit. Oh, and look, Detroit ended up, let me go back to that. Detroit ended up a consensus play is where I left off there. So, wow, me and Team Steam are already on some plays together. That's okay. I'll save the premiums here. I'm going to need some premiums tonight on the short card. And Jermaine liked Houston Christian tonight against McNeese. Yeah, look, we all agree McNeese. They're got the most talent of all the conference schools, but that has led to them being overpriced a little bit, and that's why they haven't covered as many. It feels like. All right, let's see here. Sir Mackey loves that steam here, and yep. With Jermaine, that's what we're going to do. I think we just cover as much of it as we can. I think we previewed one game over there today. I'm trying to remember. Let me go back to the pros here, though. Right now, we're going to finish up the second half of the card with the Grizzlies taking on the Rockets in this one in Houston tonight. With the Rockets are a favorite here at home. In this one, the Rockets are favored by 2 here right now, and the total 236. There is some 2.5s out there, but it feels like mostly 2s right now with the Rockets. Maybe the move here is a little bit on the Grizzlies here in this one. Get ready. We'll see what you guys have in the chat with Memphis going up against Houston here. Memphis in a pretty good run here right now, having won 17 of their last 24 games. Have also won 2 of their last 3 games here overall. They're coming in off of a win over Minnesota, 127-125, as we mentioned, is a 2-point underdog. It's Houston on a 3-game winning streak right now. They got covers over Memphis and Washington. Coming in here in this one, Houston's covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. Memphis has gone over in 6 of their last 7 games on the road. Coming into this one, Houston really smashing, it feels like, here of late. They've won 7 straight games at home against Memphis when they were favored against the Grizzlies. It feels like a pretty good roll here for a good roll and a good roll. Maybe both here, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go with the over, though, in this one between these two teams. Look, pretty high number here. I do have a feeling. I mean, look, we already see Memphis. This is kind of their best role for an over. They're 9-3 to the over as an underdog. Houston is 14-12 to the over as a favorite here overall. So I'm going to take the over. This is still a pretty high line, but probably going to use the side as a premium, if you know what I mean. Let's take a look at the plays from the chat. And we're going to start with Thomas is going to go here for Houston. Jermaine says, the only reason I have this show, Jermaine says, is to fade the chat. And that's how we get. Jermaine, the chat's been doing pretty well. Come on. Sir Mackey loves the Osaka and Collins parlay there. Like I said, I'm so glad that Danielle Collins is back. Certainly she might be my favorite. But I thought she retired and I got worried, and then she came back. Rockets first half here for Abel. Ziggy's going under here in this one. Robert's going over in this one. I'm going over with Robert. And Bo's on the Raptors there on that game we already mentioned. Sharon's here today. Thank you. Twisted's here. We're not running behind on a day like today, Twisted. I know it's Monday, so you're probably busy. I don't have anything else here but to wake up and talk to you guys. What a life. What a life. Ziggy on the under there. Oh, no. You know what, Ziggy? I don't mind that. I actually thought they're I don't know. I think Ziggy knows this too a little bit, but he wanted to clarify because he put under 36, and then half the chats in the world would be like, you typo under 30. But a lot of times, shorthand talk in gambling, I don't know, maybe they don't, but back in the day when I used to talk, you would just say, I'm going under 36, and that meant 236. I guess you want to just say one word in your vocabulary because I guess it's so hard to talk. All right, Fernando wants to maybe take the Grizzlies big here in this one. I don't know. The Rockets kind of own these guys a little bit. As good as the Grizzlies have been, the Rockets have been just as good, if not better. This is actually a pretty hot matchup here tonight. Feels like the game of the night, doesn't it, with the Grizzlies and the Rockets? I can't put the Heat and the Clippers as a game of the night. I can't even put the Spurs and the Lakers as a game of the night. And really, if you think about it, this is the best matchup with two good teams, similar records, playoff-bound teams for sure. All right, thanks a lot, you guys. And that one, I'm taking the over with the Grizzlies and the Rockets. But let's talk about those other games. These aren't bad. I mean, the Clippers are 20-17. The Heat are 20-17. The Heat are a 3-game winning streak. Yeah, kick Butler to the curb here, or, he's still suspended. Could he find his way back into this lineup one day here soon? But the Heat have won 3 straight over Portland, Utah, and Golden State, covering 2 of those games overall. Coming in to this one, Los Angeles has won 8 straight games at home as a favorite right now, and they've covered the spread in 9 of the last 11 meetings against the Miami Heat. They just meet twice a year, but it's been a good matchup for the Clippers. The Heat have gone under in 3 consecutive games overall coming into this one. Miami's won 4 of their last 5 games on the road here, including this 3-game winning streak on the road here right now. They kind of got away from their problems, and they've been playing pretty well. But the Clippers are 12-2 in their last 14 games at the Intuit Dome, now voted as the NBA's already top arena here. You knew it would be. I mean, Ballmer wasn't going to spare no expense at building a palace for his team. The Clippers are here, let's see, right now, 10-4 against the spread as a favorite, 12-6 against the spread at home in their new arena. Maybe the Clippers maybe were better in the last couple of years, but I don't know if they had that same type of home court advantage when they were playing at the Staples Center, right? I mean, that's the house that Kobe built. But Clippers right now enjoying a little bit of a home support. And of course, all these Clipper games continue to be unders, it feels like right now. Clippers have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall. As a favorite, they're just 7-7 on their totals. So usually it's as a dog, the Clippers end up going under here right now. The Heat definitely trend just a tiny bit over, but let's see what you guys have here, if anything, with the Heat taking on the Clippers here tonight. And Sir Mackey's an Ostapenko fan. Here's Thomas going with the Clippers money line parlay, putting that in there. Thomas will have to wrap it up and tell me which team. So far, I think he's got the Knicks in there. He's got the Clippers in there. Ziggy does like the Heat here, though. That, like I said, they've gotten past this Jimmy Butler thing. Watch, maybe Jimmy Butler will come back, and that'll be time to start fading the Heat again. Here's Jermaine, says, Clippers, first quarter, just get in and out, and you can get on your way after the football game here. Robert likes the Clippers and under. Feels like, I don't know, Robert, some of these teams are just too easy to focus in on. It feels like that's where we had a little bit of success here. Hey, the NBA is always going to have some ups and downs, so I'll take the Clippers here for sure with this number. Look, they're the better spread team here, it feels like right now. And Zubats for Abel here. We got some props from Jermaine. I think that might be it here. Irish King says, how about you take those LA teams tonight? I should note, right, that the LA team's back in action here. So, like I said, yes, there are still fires there. Hopefully, we pray. I'm serious. Pray if you really are. There's the winds are coming back today. Now, I don't think they are as destructive as that last series of Santa Anas. I mean, that was a firestorm, but the Santa Anas are expected back today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now they do have a lot more resources here. Look, not a political statement here, certainly, but there has to be some screw up in there a little bit when you see all those neighborhoods, the mayor out of town, right? When I heard, I got to be honest with you guys, an experienced Southern California person, when I heard that those winds were coming, and I said it's, if Santa Ana wins this time of year, there's going to be fires. And for them not to be a little bit, look, I'm not saying what is kind of being said in the political spectrum, but you just got to know. You just got to know here. So you do not want to be in another country if you're the mayor and the Santa Anas are coming. All right. Grizzlies money line there in that other game. And and he says, LA, yeah, but they went on the road. Oh, he's saying, yeah, but Kings are on the road. But I just wanted to make mention of it. I agree with you, Irish King. Why not do all the LA teams? But also want to mention that the Kings are on the road, and the 2 LA basketball teams are playing at home. So, barring any disaster here today, I expect there will be more. We know the fires are still burning, and there will be more fires here today. But not so much to threaten entire communities. But okay, that's it. I got the Clippers here in this one. You could expect that total though on the premiums. I'm pretty sure right now. One more here, and it's right across town in Inglewood. In Inglewood at the Staples Center. The Clippers are kind of Inglewood, right? The Lakers here against the Spurs. The Lakers are 3.5, and the total here is 220.5. Wow, on some widely reported steam. Actually, you might see some 4s out there right now with the Lakers, and the total has definitely dropped here on that steam. So see what you guys have here in this one with the Spurs taking on the Lakers here tonight. It was still pretty great matchup here, even though the Spurs and Lakers are just 500. Well, Spurs 18-19. Lakers are 4 games over 500. And like we said, talk about real tragedy, whatever. Yeah, we can make fun of it. Reddick was renting his house because he's going to get fired after this season. Probably not going to get fired. He's doing a decent job here, it feels like. But he lost his home. He lost his home in the fires. Lost all of his personal belongings. I know I mentioned this before, but you have to really put things into perspective there, right? That is awful. So we'll see what happens here tonight. But LeBron probable, AD probable. Although we'll see how it goes with those two. Could there be some rest here? The line looks like they're both in the game. So Chan is questionable for the Spurs here in this one. Go ahead and get ready in the chat with this matchup tonight. The Lakers have won 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams, including 4 out of the last 5 games here in Staples Center. The Spurs have gone under in 5 straight games, including 4 of their last 5 games on the road. Los Angeles has won 13 out of their last 14 games against sub 500 teams, and they continue to dominate conference foes here as well. See what you guys have in this one with the Spurs taking on the Lakers here, NBA TV tonight, the late game. And a little bit of breaking news here, it looks like this morning. I don't think we're going to bust out the breaking news banner for this one, but Clemson here, I'm just seeing here, this is breaking. Clemson is going to probably get Penn State defensive coordinator Tom Allen to come down and take over the defense for the Tigers. So Tom Allen going to be shifting here from Penn State to Clemson to be the defensive coordinator with the Tigers here. That looks good to go. I'm seeing multiple sources reporting this one here right now. So pretty significant college football news for sure right there. Okay, go ahead, guys, in the chat. Let's see what you have with the Spurs and the Lakers here in this one. And we've got Robert is going to be on the Spurs here in this one, and Ziggy's on the Spurs here as well. Get that note out of the way here. And yeah, and don't forget, right? We said Rams, Kings, Clippers. Yeah, the Rams too. Don't forget, right? How about LBJ for a triple to LBJ and AD for double doubles? Thank you, Abel. Thank you. Likes the Lakers here. Fernando likes the Lakers, and Thomas likes the Lakers. Look out. Here comes a lot of Lakers action, it feels like right now. Anybody on the Spurs? We might have a consensus play right there. It feels like there's Tex. He'll even it out here a little bit with the Spurs there in this one. Hello to Tex. Host of the Daily Spread, I think it is. Is it a show, Tex? Is it every day? I loved seeing those videos, actually. Where was I? I was got stuck in a drive-thru, and I was watching Tex videos on my phone. I was in Taco Bell drive-thru, and I was looking at Tex. Remember that night, Tex? All right. I guess that's it for you guys here in this one with the Lakers and the Spurs. So no more there. I guess I better pull the trigger. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take the Lakers here in this one and lay this small number. I'm going to do it just because I want to I actually have some questions about the stars of the Lakers here in this game tonight. I think they'll both be in there, but I can't be 100% sure, even though they are both listed as probable. That's kind of when I put my radar up a little bit on that. But I'm sure they'll be in there tonight, and I can get behind maybe the total as my premium, though, in this one. We've been kind of rolling the same thing here for a couple of weeks now. The NBA definitely patterning out, it feels like right now. That's it for the pro basketball tonight. Jermaine also on the Spurs. So it definitely evened out here, it feels like a little bit. But I'll take the Lakers here tonight. All right. Let's go to college basketball right now. Or I'm sorry, let's go to hockey next. Here, 3 games. Don't want to forget games on the ice here tonight. And we'll go to it right now with the Panthers on the road here against the Flyers. Panthers going to be favored here, $1.55. It says $1.65 here, but I think we've actually seen a move here to the Flyers. Right now, I'm showing the Panthers are favored by $1.55 at the sharp books, but still $1.65 at the square shops, it feels like here at this point. I'm showing Bobrovsky here. I know a couple of the sites are showing Spencer Knight possibly being in goal here in this one right now, but I'm gonna kind of roll here. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of roll here right now with Bob in goal here in this one. See what you guys are playing in the NHL tonight. I'm just kind of catching up here on my screens, and then I'll be right here to cover this one with the Panthers, 25, 15, and 3 coming in. There have been alternating wins and losses here of late. The Flyers were on a losing streak until they finally snapped that one with that 6-0 victory over Anaheim last time out. The Panthers lost to the Bruins last game. It was a 4-3 loss at home to Boston here in this one, but Philadelphia's been pretty good here at home in this series. Philadelphia has covered the puck line in 6 of the last 8 meetings against the Panthers, most of them as underdogs, but the Panthers have won the last 3 meetings overall, including a pair of meetings this year. Panthers won here in Philly 7-5 about a month ago here on the road. They also won 4-3 at home back on November the 9th. The Panthers have won 4 of their last 5 games on the road here right now, doing a pretty good job at this point. Philadelphia have lost 8 straight games at home when coming off of a win when they are an underdog. That's almost a Mikey Money special, but I think for me it more just makes sense here. Maybe that's why I'll just take the Florida Panthers as my play here at $1.65 or so. I can get a better price, but let me just quote that high price here. It feels like in this one, Florida here, maybe let's see here, maybe trending under a little bit of late, but they're still 12-9 to the over on the road. The Flyers are actually 9-11 to the under at home, but they've gone over in 7 of their last 10 games. So I'm just going to end up on the Panthers here as my play in this one. I'll take Florida and just play them as a favorite here. I'm sure that, part of my big success here of late on the show and hockey is taking some favorites, but you know what? We take plenty of dogs too. We've just been rolling some favorites here, it feels like, of late. All right, here we go with Jermaine on the Panthers puck line here in this one. Give him a little plus money. Ziggy likes the over here. So does Sharon in this one. Hard for me to go over in any NHL game, it feels like right now. Here's Robert on the under at this point. Philly Flyer says Panthers money line, leaning to the under, but he's going to go draw in all 3, regulation draw in all 3 games. And Flanae Jones is here again. Thank you, Flanae. And Flanae is on Philly plus the goal and a half in this one. So, yeah, Philadelphia 16-13 is a puck line dog. The road teams covered the puck line in 5 straight meetings between these 2 teams. But as we explained, Florida's won the 2 meetings this year, only covered the puck line in the game here, though, in Philly. But still, Florida 13-20 as a puck line favorite. I'll go ahead though and take the Panthers. Next up is the Flames taking on the Blackhawks. I've got Wood and so to speak, and Mrazek going off here in this one with the Flames and the Panthers. Got Dustin Wolf 14-6 overall, and Mrazek 8-15, and nearly a full goal better is Wolf here, but still on the road, the Flames are a losing proposition. They are costing you a quarter of a unit this season on the road, despite being 20-14, 20-14-7 overall. They've won 2 in a row. Have the Flames over the Southern California teams. They beat Anaheim 3-2. They beat LA 2-1 here, and they're going to be a favorite on the road, $1.35. And the total here, mostly a flat 6 here, it feels like. In fact,
Since been playing.
Yeah, maybe I call it 6 under 15. I think there's enough books shading the under. A couple of books are actually ticking the over in this one. So we'll see where it stands when it finally finishes. The steam already came in on the over in this matchup between the Flames and the Blackhawks. So let's see how you can play this one. I mean, it's tough to get behind this Blackhawks team at all with a record of 14-27. They have lost 2 straight games here against Edmonton and the red-hot Detroit Red Wings. So let's see how you want to play this one tonight when the Flames take on the Blackhawks here in this one. The Blackhawks have actually covered the puck line in 6 of the last 8 games here at home against Calgary. These semi-frequent opponents here have gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Chicago. Calgary, however, has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games overall coming into this one. The underdog has won 3 straight meetings between these two teams. Calgary has failed against the puck line in 4 straight games right now, and let's see how you're going to play. I'm going to take the Blackhawks again. I'm going to try them again here. Look, the Blackhawks are actually profitable at home this season, despite just a 11-9 record, but that's certainly good enough for some profit here. Calgary 8-10 on the road. Yeah, Calgary's better. I'm going to try the Blackhawks tonight as an ugly dog here. And let's see here. I think Jermaine was on the under in this one. Sharon says, how about the Blackhawks on the money line? And money line first period as well. Textiles on Chicago here. And so is Robert. Philly Eagle Flyer, though, does go with the Flames. And Thomas says, you know what? I think there's enough support here to consider the Blackhawks here. And you know, Thomas wins every drawing now, don't forget. So he's probably just loading up his own parlay. But Flynn did say take the Flames and lay the 1.5 against these sad sack Blackhawks. All right, I'll take the Blackhawks here and try them at home with Calgary. They haven't been, too awesome anyway. It feels like here's 6-9. They're actually 6-9 against the spread on the puck line as a puck line favorite here. But Calgary 11-4 as a favorite straight up. That's pretty good considering they're just a 6-8 straight up on the road. Yeah, I'm just going to try the Blackhawks. All right. Here we go now, and we'll get to this final game here with the Kings on the road against the Oilers here in a real hot game tonight to wrap it up here with the Oilers favored by $1.80 here at most spots or so between, I'm showing $1.85. It's higher than this pretty much everywhere, it feels like right now, but still 2 hot teams no matter how you look at it. The Kings do have some issues on the road despite their strong record this year. The Kings are 10-9 on the road this season. That is not profitable, but Edmonton is actually not profitable at home despite a 14-7 straight up record. Here they often are, just rated too high. And this one looks too high too, but the matchup just, I don't know, it still seems to favor the Oilers. Just can you tolerate this price here? Look, Kings are still a pretty good team, and there's just no doubt about it. So let's try to see how we can look at this one. I'm expecting here Kemper and Skinner here in this one. I think that's probably good to go. Skinner 16-9, a 2.77 goals against here in this one. Kemper 12-2-5 with a 2.4 goals against and a 92% save percentage. Got a good season here for Kemper right now. This is a high price, man, but the Oilers always win this, it seems like, right? Let's take a look. Oilers have won 5 straight at home. Kings are 5-1 in their last 6 overall. Oilers have gone under in 5 straight at home right now. Kings are 6-14-3 to the under on the road coming into this one. However, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total. See what you guys have in the chat here in this one. These Kings games are pretty solid unders of late, man. Okay, here come the picks with Flanae is on LA and Sharon is on LA as well. Jermaine likes Edmonton in regulation here. And I think Billy Eagle Flyer says this is the best draw on the board. I think he says, look, if I'm going to play any draw a little bit heavier, it's going to be this one, but he still likes the Oilers to get it done. I think that's what he's saying. You can correct me if I'm wrong, my friend. Here's Kings puck line in a parlay. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Kings as well. Robert does like the under in this one, and Textiles likes LA here. All right. Yeah, you know what? I mean, to me, this matchup, it just kind of favors the Oilers, but man, the price, it's hard to swallow, it feels like. This price feels like 25 cents too high in this one. I kind of want to take the Kings, but even with this line trucking up here to like $1.90 at some of the square shops, the Kings puck line is still pretty high at $1.63, but I will take the Kings on the puck line here. I'm going to be a little chalky in this short card. It does leave a little bit to be desired here. Look, if it was the other way around, if it was the Oilers $1.60, I'd probably take the Oilers. But at $1.85 or $1.90, I'm going to try to grab some Kings, and I'll take them on the puck line here in a good one tonight here. But I'll be on the total for sure in this one. Play. All right, let me cover one more Steam play, and we'll get ready to go. Oh, wow. Thomas says the Kings turned out to be a consensus play here. And I might be money line for you guys. I don't know, but I took them puck line. That's fine. But I'll mark it down. Maybe it should be puck line because we want to get someone a win. I'll let Thomas maybe decide, but there's no doubt it's a consensus play here on the Kings tonight. I don't think we did see much Oilers support there. Look, the Oilers, they are, probably right now, they might be the favorite for most people. I know the odds are kind of still spread out as far as NHL Stanley Cup odds. I mean, they are the favorite, but the Panthers are right there. The Canes are right there. But the Oilers are, certainly the slight favorite here to win it all, but it does feel like they're just being bet too heavily here at this point. They're not, any overwhelming profitable team, that's for sure. They're strong here for sure, 26-13. But all right, gang, I think that's it here with the hockey. Let's go to college basketball. I'm seeing some steam here right now. I'm going to report with our SWAC action tonight. We've got Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley. We're seeing some steam here right now to the over in this one with Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley. I think we look at that one. I know we're, I've been all over the place with these games, but look, the extra board is kind of where all the games are, other than those marquee matchups over on the regular board. But pardon me, I'm yawning here. But I think for Texas Southern, this steam, let me report what the number was, by the way. It was as low as 135. We're already looking at this one all the way up here to 136 or so here. It was as low as 133 on some of the openers, and I think mostly it has to do with it feels like with Texas Southern here in this one, and why this one might be moving so much higher here right now. I think in general, Texas Southern has been going over this number quite a bit. Let me see what the actual numbers are for Texas Southern. We're not covering that game, so actually we've covered about 5 or 6 of these games now, the way we're getting into it. But just so intriguing, the way that these teams, once they get into conference play, it seems so predictable compared to the fact when they go on the road and it's such a crapshoot when they're getting 35 points in some of those games or whatever, and you get down to business here with these two teams that are both so dreadful, but yet so predictable, it seems like. So even though Texas Southern seemed to go under in so many of those games where they were overmatched against top, against other Division I foes, not like they're playing all great teams, just going on the road out there. But 12 of Texas Southern in these games here of late just seems to be going over these numbers at 136, 137 for the most part. Let's see here. Grambling was 137 here. Game against Nevada was 178. Boise was just 133. All right. Anyways, let's get to the action here. The steam was on the over there. All right, here we go. And we got Chase in the chat there. Thank you, Chase, for stopping by here. And we did have some action there on the ice, Chase. All right. Johnny says the Kings have moved to 6 right now in that matchup tonight with the total there, right? The total there, right? Good. All right. Jermaine, team total over for Texas Southern. Sharon, Rockets first half. Maybe these are the best plays here. All right. I think that's going to do it for the chat momentarily. Let's go to this college basketball card right now. Want to mention here real quick to start us off, Minnesota and Maryland. So Joe T's got you covered actually in this one with the total here today. He's got a couple of plays up in the community tab, so please check out Joe's plays over there today. I'll go with the side here in this one since Joe likes a total there today. Oops, that's yesterday. Oh, here we go. I got my sheet right here with today's games. All right, Maryland and Minnesota here in this one. Let me get all caught up here. We're having a good show here today. Good Monday, it feels like. Maybe I just feel better because of the we still kind of riding high off that Saturday night, I got to admit, there. Hitting that 22-1 shot in the chat with the guys on Saturday night, and basically Derrick Henry probably should be one of those where you buy the jersey of the guy that just won you a bunch of money. In that one, King Henry, thank you. All right, here we go. Minnesota comes in 8-8. Maryland comes in 12-4 in this one. Maryland's lost, Maryland has won the last 5 meetings between these two teams overall and covered the spread in the last 5 meetings at home against the Gophers here. You think about these teams right now in the Big Ten, it does seem like that the home teams are starting to dominate again in this conference right now. So Maryland is 9-7 against the spread overall, 8-5 against the spread on the road. But Minnesota is one of the worst spread teams in the country right now. Just 2-12-2 overall, 1-7-2 in their last 10, 0-3-1 against the spread on the road, and 1-5-1 as an underdog overall. Maryland has gone over in 10 of their 16 games so far this season, and even though Minnesota does trend a little bit under, they are 4-3 to the over as an underdog. They're 1-3 to the under on the road here. So go ahead, let's see if you're going to play this one with Maryland taking on Minnesota, taking on Maryland here on Monday night. There's just a handful of big school games, I guess, group of four, if you will, here in our matchups today. So go ahead, gang. Let's take a look at this one. You look at this total, Maryland, right? 138. Now we know Minnesota is kind of slowing it down a little bit this so far this season. But we just had some steam on the Florida Panthers. I want to mention right there. I already gave them out, so hopefully you got the best price on that one. And I do want to mention also on last night's college basketball card. So I did report to you guys that I am accepting a losing card yesterday with a 3-4 record. However, many of you probably got a winner here. What game was it? Oh, was it? Oh, darn it. Now I forget, but there was one game on the card where I gave out a loser on the air, but if anybody waited even, I think, about just an hour or two, the line moved dramatically. And if you played the game that I recommended, you did win with the line move. I'm just having a hard time now remembering what one it was. Bad producing here by the host. It was the game between Southern Illinois and Little Rock, where I gave out the under in that one, and it ended up 136. I gave it out at 134. It definitely closed 137 at most places, even 138 at some places. So most of the bettors, unless you bet with me and went right to the, after the game, my apologies there. But if you did wait, I think it was even 90 minutes or 2 hours, the line moved there because we sent out the package pretty late. We sent it out probably maybe 30 to 45 minutes before the first tip, but that was one of the later games on the card. So I just want to clarify that maybe a lot of the players won actually and I lost. I'll accept that, but I hope you won. Okay, let me just cover the game here, though, real quick on what I was talking about with the total here. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Maryland Terrapins actually as my play. Like I said, Joe's got you covered on the total there on the community tab. So please check out our community tab every day. We got some plays on there, but you do have this one. I say, have you guys even been telling me to change the spread, you guys? Because it's 16 here right now. So, of course, I'm going with Maryland. Can't go with them as a premium here now. And like I said, Joe's got you covered on the total. So maybe I can just mention, though, here real quick. And the total is up to maybe 139 also here. So pretty big move, Maryland and the over here in this one. All right, I think that. What was it? So anyways, you look at Maryland right now, and the total 138. Look at the scores so that Maryland are running right now. I know Minnesota's a little bit, slow it down for the most part, but they're not an overwhelmingly under team. They're 7-9 to the under so far. And Maryland games, it was 140 against the Bruins when they knocked off the Bruins, 162 against Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's good, but against Washington, it was 144. Against Eastern Shore, it was 147. Against Syracuse, it was 147. All these games, Maryland's last 13 games have had more than 140 points. And here you've got a 139. So, all right, Joe's got you covered, though. I'll go ahead and take Maryland in this one. All right, and maybe you guys have some plays here as well. Chosen one maybe says Maryland or pass. And Textiles likes Maryland with me. And Robert says Maryland first half. Thomas Lewis says Maryland. Here's super true, like in Minnesota in the first half. Jake might go Maryland or pass, and Justin just says sports money is money. And next up, let's go to the UCLA Bruins and their fiery head coach, Mick Cronin. Not good when your head coach are the ones making the headlines. Now, Mick Cronin is kind of a master playing head games a little bit, it feels like, is the way Mick Cronin goes about it here. And with UCLA going out on the road here right now, and he really dug into them a little bit with their poor play of late here. They've lost 3 games. Rutgers has lost 3 in a row here right now. Rutgers has some growing up to do. They've been so overrated this season. Yeah, we've even took it on the chin trying to figure when are they going to fire here right now, but they're not firing. Rutgers is 5-11 against the spread overall coming into this game. The Bruins are actually 9-7 ATS, but they've lost 3 straight games here right now and failed to cover the spread in those games. 2 of them, they were underdogs, but they're going to be favorites here on the road against Rutgers. And both teams are kind of struggling right now. Rutgers has also lost and failed 3 straight games overall, although they were an underdog in all 3 of those games. They lost to Purdue, lost to Wisconsin, and lost to Indiana here, all in Big Ten play. So what's going to happen tonight when UCLA visits Jersey Mike's Arena here? Still the same building, by the way. Steam just came in on Boston College, Notre Dame. It's our next game up, but just want to point it out right now. The Steam's coming in on the under, Boston College and Notre Dame. We'll preview it in just a moment here on the Morning Steam Show. It was 141 down to 140 here, it looks like, or lower. Boston College and Notre Dame taking the Steam here right as we speak. Okay, so go ahead here, though, right now with the matchup between UCLA and Rutgers in this one. UCLA has gone over in 6 of their last 7 games on the road, dating back to last season. They are 3-2 to the over on the road so far this season. Rutgers, meanwhile, has gone 7-2 straight up at home, and UCLA is just 1-2 on the road straight up so far. Rutgers is a big time under trend long term here. 14 of their last 20 games at home have gone under. That's kind of the way they kind of go about their business here right now. You think of these young, talented players on Rutgers, but they're not really getting much. They're great. They're great. They're going to be great. They're a young team, no doubt about it. But you look at Rutgers here, when they play ranked opponents at home, it's usually a bit more of a rock fight for the most part. So, man, I'm kind of going to use a premium, it feels like, in this game. I will take Rutgers here at home right now. The Bruins feel broken. Maybe Mick Cronin can get them going here, it feels like, but I got to try Rutgers. They're still winning games at home. Yeah, they had some easier competition, but you look at so far. We'll take a look at some of these. We've got some moves coming in here for sure right now. But, yeah, they lost to Wisconsin and Purdue at home, but they beat up on the likes of a Columbia team. Columbia's not awful this year for sure. They beat Seton Hall at home. They beat Penn State at home. So, and they rolled through a bunch of, East Coast teams early on, Merrimack, Monmouth, St. Peter's, and Wagner to open up the season here. So I'm going to use Rutgers here, but I think I got to use a premium in this game on the total, it feels like. And see if you guys have any pick in this one. Looks like you do. So many comments. I'm worried it might be some spam. Let me go to the chat. Oh, you guys are still on that other game. Here's Rutgers for Thomas. And could this be the spot for Rutgers here? Can these two superstars kind of get going here right now with Harper and with Bailey? Let me look at the status. I know that I'm sure Harper's in there, but obviously was sidelined there for a little bit. But I think everything's kind of back to normal right now. Yeah, in fact, it's UCLA who's got a couple of guys here with Ori is questionable, and Manjikian is also questionable here for the Bruins, but I'll take Rutgers here in this one. Super True likes the under. Chosen One says UCLA has really only won that one game. I mentioned it, right? They only have 3 road games, true road games overall, and they lost to Maryland, lost to Nebraska. They did beat Oregon. That's a pretty good win, but you do feel like Cronin is kind of sticking it to these guys to try to get them through this road trip a little bit. Abel's on UCLA. Tex Styles is on UCLA. Robert's on UCLA. This is a lot of UCLA. I got to respect what you guys are saying. Man, wow. Justin's with me, but Abel likes UCLA. Here it says they're having trouble scoring right now with those talented stars, and if anything, UCLA does try to pride itself a little bit defensively. In Cronin, he wishes anyway, right? And Thomas says it's a consensus play. I should have waited. I hate going against the chat, but I guess I am here right now. All right, I better move on. So let me move on to the next one here. We just saw that steam come in here right now on the under with Boston College and Notre Dame in this one. You got BC 8-7. You got Notre Dame 7-9. Notre Dame's lost 4 games in a row here right now. To the likes of Duke, NC State, North Carolina, and Georgia Tech in conference, but they're still going to be a big favorite here against Boston College. Boston College has lost 2 straight, to Syracuse and to Georgia Tech. Coming into this one, Notre Dame here, 9-6-1 against the spread, 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10 overall. BC just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games coming in here. For Boston College, however, they have covered 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, and they've won 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams, including 4 in a row for Boston College. Here they won the meeting here last year 61-58, and the other game was 63-59 in some sure solid unders. And we just mentioned that steam that came in on the under in this matchup. So what are you going to do here when Notre Dame takes on Boston College at home in this one? Man, those were some low-scoring games last year. All right, go to the chat here and see what you guys have in this one. In the ACC tonight, Notre Dame here, since they've been going in these conference games, you look back at already this season, and we're looking at the same kind of circumstances here with Notre Dame and some of these unders here so far in conference. 131 points in the road game at NC State, 147 games. That is over this number, but it was an under against North Carolina. So just feels like Notre Dame goes under a lot of these games. See what you guys have in this one. Notre Dame and BC. Started off here with anybody? Robert likes the under here in this one. And Flanae likes Boston College. If Flanae likes Boston College, I'm going to take Boston College plus 11 points. Now, for sure, Boston College is, not terrific here, maybe. And yeah, maybe there will be a lot of people taking a blowout here. But when I see a team that kind of has their number and maybe the teams haven't changed that much, I don't think there's anything special here with Notre Dame, anyways, right now. Yeah, they're playing a little bit better than expectations compared to Boston College, but maybe this is a series where Boston College matches up well. Obviously, Boston College has won and covered 6 of the last 7 meetings here, so I'm going to take Boston College with Blaney, and Thomas also will take Boston College here. All right. Good one there, you guys. Let's go to couple more here. Let's see what we got here. I definitely am looking at this one. This is a right-in game. Just want to take note here right now between Wofford and Furman. I believe this one was weather-related, right? Delayed here over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken, in this matchup with Wofford and Furman here tonight. And in this one, we've got Furman favored by 5.5, and the total is 140.5 here in this one. 12 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Furman, though, has gone under quite a bit so far this season, particularly on the road. They are 3-6 to the under on the road, 2-5 to the under as a dog. Furman has gone under in 4 of their 5 games at home. Furman has defeated Wofford in 5 of the last 6 meetings overall between these two teams, and Furman's on a bit of a winning streak. They've won here 5 straight games at home. They've also been here winning impressively here of late, not getting the numbers always. They did fail last time out against Citadel, winning 67-63 as a 13.5 point favorite. They did fail against Greensboro on the road, but they knocked off Western Carolina as a 9-point favorite, crushed them by 29, and they beat Harvard on the road 77-63. So let's see what you might do here in this one if you like it here with Furman. Yeah, they usually win this game for sure, but let me see what you guys have here. I picked this one to check out, but maybe it's the least favorite of all the games. I've loaded up here a few more here in this one. Thank you, you guys. Here comes Thomas on Furman. Justin will lay it with Furman. Play is on Wofford here in this one, and Robert is going to go with the under here in this one. And Super True says, I'm close to Furman, and he'll take Furman here. All right, gang. Appreciate that. I'll go ahead and take. Look, yeah, maybe this is a series that definitely goes over long term, but I got to try the under here in this one. I'll take under. You guys seem to like Furman. I guess I don't mind that, but I'll take the under as my play. All right, let's go to the next one here. Got some TV matchups and some interesting matchups here I've selected for our extra board games. How about American and Loyola, Maryland? I mentioned this one because you can get the total with Joe T over on the community tab. So go ahead and check it out if you want to get Joe's play in this one between American, who's 8-9, Loyola, Maryland, 7-8. Coming in, both teams won last time out. Loyola, Maryland defeated Navy 75-74. Meanwhile, American beat up on Bucknell 68-58 as a 3.5 point favorite. American is 0-8 on the road so far this season. So I'm just going to take Loyola, Maryland. Joe gave you the total here on the community tab, so let me pivot right now to the side. And look, if right now, American on the road, not good at all. They've lost 8 straight on the road here right now. So I'm going to take Loyola, Maryland. Yeah, maybe American was definitely playing some tough teams. I think it's unfair to actually talk about a tough road winning streak, especially when you're playing some of the teams that they did on the road, such as North Carolina, High Point, Virginia, St. Joe's, Navy, whatever. But still, here, if you look at the spread, they are 2-6 against the spread on the road. They weren't getting enough points in those games, and this is a team that actually has been pretty good as an underdog, 6-4 against the spread, but maybe on the road, not quite as good. And I think if you look at not only, so let me see here. Yeah, so not only the losing streak of American on the road, but I think you also have to give some credit here to St. Joe's at home. They've actually had some home success here that may just point to a little bit of an edge, it feels like, in this one against American here tonight. All right, I'll get your play here on this one if you want. I know we're on some small school action here, but we have some plays for sure. And Flanae likes American, but Robert likes Loyola. And Super True says, what was the score last time these two teams played? Sounds like a trick question that Super True knows the answer to. It was 44-43 last time they played, and it was at American last February. When they met here last year, almost a year to the day at Loyola, it was 66-52. American won on the road last year. So, okay, I'm going to take Loyola, Maryland. Text like see over there, maybe. All right, another one here. This one because hey, this is a big game in their conference. So, just pointing out a few good, interesting matchups here on our. I think we went over half the games, it felt like, with some of the steam that came in, including on this game, right? We heard the steam come in on the over in this one, kind of explained what was going on there, although Corpus Christi does have some under tendencies for sure here right now. You got Corpus Christi favored by 9, but Northwestern State has made a pretty good account of themselves so far here in conference play. You take a look here with Corpus Christi here right now in the Southland. Let me get to the standings here real quick. You've got Corpus Christi 4-1, a one game back of first place McNeese. Even though we're making fun of McNeese, they are 5-0 atop the standings. But you have Corpus Christi here 4-1. Northwestern State is 4-1. So it almost feels like a bit of an elimination game because it's going to be McNeese is going to be out there. Maybe Corpus Christi is the only one that can kind of match up with McNeese offensively. Defensively, I'm not so sure that they can, but still Corpus Christi a 9-point favorite here in this one against Northwestern State. All right. See if you guys, I don't know how low we can go, or if you guys are even, interested in what I'm having to say about some of these matchups here tonight, but certainly interesting here. Corpus Christi winning at home very consistently right now. Let me see. They've won 9 straight games at home right now. But, yeah, obviously they're pretty big favorite here in this one against Northwestern State. Corpus Christi's won 3 straight games coming in. They've covered the spread against the conference teams coming in here of late as well, with covers against Rio Grande Valley, New Orleans, and Southeast Louisiana. A little bit of a roll here right now. And you look at the losses, for Corpus Christi, the teams you'd expect them to lose to, but they played tough teams. Houston, New Mexico, Purdue, but now they've gotten into conference play here. They did lose to Lamar. That's their only loss. And yeah, if you had to look at who is maybe one of the better defensive teams in conference. You got to put Lamar in the top 3 or 4. Let's see what you're going to do. Can I give you enough information here with Northwestern State and Corpus Christi? Northwestern State is 6-2 against the spread on the road, but Corpus Christi is 6-2 against the spread as a favorite. All right, Robert likes Northwestern State here to get the money, and Villanay likes Corpus Christi here, and Textiles likes Corpus Christi here as well. All right, I'm going to go with the under here in this one. I kind of want to use a premium. Maybe that steam kind of has me intimidated a little bit to the over, but Corpus Christi definitely has some under trends here. Like I said, they're 2-4 to the under at home. Northwestern State definitely is trending slightly to the under, it feels like so far this season, but I'm just going to end up on the under with Northwestern and Corpus Christi here in this one. I think if you look at it overall, Corpus Christi at home, like I said, they always are winning this game. Let me see here. I thought I had a note on the total here. Maybe we'll just move on with these conferences. I look these, write these numbers down, and all right. But you look at these scores here. Let me see. Corpus Christi at home. Now, the New Orleans game was ridiculous. That was 180 points. Southeast Louisiana was 151, but those were on the road. So I'm going to go under here in this one. It's just a free play here on the show. I don't know if I could go premium with it. Let me cover a few more here real quick. I got one more. That's it. The show's over. Campbell and Elon here. A little bit of an interesting game here with Campbell taking on Elon here tonight. Bring up some numbers here. I think that's it. Campbell 7-9. Elon here comes in 11-5 in this one. And take a look at the standings right now in the Coastal. You have Elon is 2-1. Currently, right now, Campbell also 2-1. These two teams are a game and a half back of first place. William and Mary at 4-0. Charleston and Towson are both 3-1 so far. So see here what you might do with the game between Campbell taking on Elon here in this one. Elon's on a home winning streak, but they did lose last time out on the road against Bill and Mary. 78-65 is a 2.5-point dog, but they did win at home here in conference against Hampton. They also beat Marshall at home as well. And whoops. Let me see here. I think they beat, who else was it? They beat Greensboro in a non-conference game. They've also beat Wofford here at home in a non-conference game. They beat Notre Dame on the road. So Elon has definitely had a pretty nice little season so far. They did lose to East Tennessee State on the road. For Campbell here, they come in 7-3 against the spread on the road. So they've been a nice little proposition here as well. Elon has been a dead solid under so far this season. They are 1-9 to the under in their last 10, 0-8 to the under as a favorite. That does kind of fly in the face of the long-term trends for Campbell, which has been a bit of an over team over the last I want to say season and a half or so. Right now they are 6-8 to the under, but they are 6-4 to the over on the road. So let's see if you guys are playing this one. The show is over, but Campbell on the road so far has been more of an over team, it feels like, but Elon's been such a dead under. Let's see what you have here, if anything. All right. Robert says, give me Campbell here in this one, but it's Elon for Thomas, and it's Flanae on Campbell here. I got to go under in this one. If Elon's this good, they're probably going to stymie these guys, I would think. Give me the under tonight. And AOD, I don't know. Super True, thank you. Thanks, everybody. That's it for the Morning Steam show. Let's do a drawing here right now for our consensus parlay. We got several teams in the consensus parlay. Let me go over to my commercial here and ask you if you'd like to get more plays from me, including all those premium plays that I did tease throughout the show. Then go over to winnable.com/Ramon to get my plays for tonight, including the NFL, college basketball, NBA, NHL. I'll probably still have 10 or 12 plays on this card. I'm a high volume player, so I want you to know about the tickets that I have in my pocket. I believe in playing the landscape of college basketball and the other sports here. I'm not good enough to give you 2 or 3 plays a day and go 2-1 every day. If I did, I guess I wouldn't have any friends. I wouldn't have a show to go to. But I do try to get that consistency long term. It's a lot easier to go, 10-5 than it does, and then it is 2-1. It seems like to me, even though that's the same exact thing. But look, I don't believe in playing a short amount of games. I think that leads to too much volatility. If you're only going to hit 55% or plus to be a profitable bettor, then how are you going to realize those profits in playing just a handful of games every day? I think the best way to get the results that you deserve is to play a bigger card, smaller amounts over a bigger card. That's the way I do it. But if you are about shorter cards, then why not have my plays in your pocket, see what I'm on the game that you're interested in. I'll probably be interested in it too, between the picks here on the show and on my picks over at winnable.com. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those packages. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my page, and you'll can get signed up there. Also have a free subscription, and I'll have tennis action today. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to go at the Australian Open after some good results yesterday, it felt like. Appreciate that. And again, this is how you support me here on the channel. Let me get ready for the drawing. Get ready, everybody. Hope you're entered in. If you entered in anything in the chat right now, if you want to be in the drawing for the consensus parlay, we did have one of our most viewed shows so far ever yesterday here on the Sports Money Network with the Morning Steam. We got up close to 500 views. And again, Sundays are a big day, it feels like, but all right, here we go. I'm going to bring up the drawing right now, and hopefully you're in it. Enter any word in the chat if you want to be eligible. I'll give you a few more seconds here and bring up the drawing board there with 41 entries there, it feels like, right now. All right, here we go. Thomas says, here come the plays. It's going to be Washington, Detroit, Blackhawks, Kings, and Bruins. Thank you, Thomas, as always. Appreciate that. And Robert, there you go. Well, and right, Robert, but and the thing is, I think a lot of, I'd say the people who do play the small volume, I think they're more into it and there's nothing wrong with it, right? To watch, 2 or 3 particular big games. But again, I just, I don't know if you guys noticed that sports betting has a lot of volatility. All right, Tex is ready to go in tennis. Here comes the drawing, you guys. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam today. Enjoy your day. Those other shows out there on those other channels are getting under. Super True, we got Robert, we got Andrew, I can't even get it today. Ziggy, Thomas, Terrell, kind of slowing down. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, I think, is just won for the 3rd or 4th time here. And I think Bo, was he one of our winners? No, I don't know if he was, but thank you, Bo. You're awesome. And do you know diddly? You think about Bo Jackson. Really, I know our man Bo Jackson here in the chat, using the name of the great but I don't know if you guys are young in the chat, man. I mean, Bo Jackson, you think of, Deion Sanders was an incredible two-way player, but Bo Jackson was a real two-way player for sure. A superstar on the football field, as was Deion, but he was also a pretty big star on the baseball diamond. Deion had great moments on the baseball diamond, certainly, but wasn't quite the player that Bo Jackson was in baseball. Okay, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good luck to Bo today. Thank you for your contributions. All right, that's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. Like I said, make sure to check me out over at winnable.com to get more plays from me today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific tomorrow with more plays. What do we got? The Edmonton Oilers are getting steamed here right now, you guys. Good luck to the Oilers today. Wow, they're going to be a $2 favorite against the LA Kings. Maybe they're banking on some distractions with the Kings or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but sharp books are up to $2 here right now. That's 35 cents higher there. And maybe the Kings are on their backup goalie. Maybe I'll peek at it real quick before we get off the air here right now. And see, I don't know. It's still pretty early, so I don't know if we got the goalies officially confirmed or anything, but there was a move for sure on the Oilers here in this one tonight. Thanks a lot, everybody. That's it for the show. Also, don't forget today, 9 a.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, join Mikey Money here on the channel with pre-gaming. You'll get you ready for the primetime action, including those football game between the Rams and the Vikings tonight. And that's going to do it. Join me here tomorrow. And thank you, everybody, for the great comments there at the end of the show. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.